Visit licensuraexams.com and try our samples completely free of charge.
Kohlberg stages of moral development. The Heinz dilemma. Let me tell you a story. To begin, we'll need to do some armchair traveling. So let's head over to Europe, where we'll meet Heinz and his wife. Heinz's wife is dying of a rare form of cancer. Her doctors believe that there is only one drug that can save her. The particular druggist is charging $2,000 for a small dose of this drug, although it only costs him $200 to make. Heinz does not have enough money to pay for the drug. So he goes to everyone he can think of to borrow money, but he's only able to collect $1,000. He pleads with the druggist to sell it to him cheaper because his wife is dying, but the druggist refuses. Heinz asks if he could give him $1,000 now and pay him the rest of the money later. The druggist refuses. Desperate, Heinz decides to break into the druggist's store and steal the drug to keep his wife alive. Now, the big question: should Heinz have broken into the store and stolen the drug for his wife? In other words, is this fair? Why or why not? In the late 1950s, Swiss psychologist Lawrence Kohlberg, once a student of Jean Piaget's, presented this scenario and others to male children in different age groups, ages 10, ages 13, and ages 16, in order to observe their moral reasoning. He was interested in knowing how each child justified their answer to the Heinz dilemma. Based on their answers to this dilemma, as well as several other scenarios, he developed a theory of moral development. He believed that our idea of what is right and wrong evolves over time as we interact with our environment and learn from family, peers, and our community. Kohlberg's model is made up of 3 levels: pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. Each of these levels has 2 stages. Level 1 is called the pre-conventional level. In this level, children see themselves as separate from society and only feel obligated to respond to authority figures. Stage 1. Punishment and obedience orientation. Someone in this stage blindly follows pre-established rules to avoid punishment from authority figures. They will judge someone's action if it was either good or was it bad. It will then result in a consequence, namely punishment or non-punishment. For example, Heinz should not have stolen the drug. It's against the law. He did something wrong and he deserves to go to jail. Stage 2. Instrumental relativist. Individuals in this stage act according to their own interests. They also want to ensure that they are being treated fairly. This stage can be summed up with the question, what's in it for me, and am I being treated fairly? For example, Heinz was right to steal the drug for his wife, because one day she might do something nice for him. Or Heinz was right to steal the drug because he will be happy if he saves his wife, even if he has to go to jail. Level 2 is called the conventional level. In this level, children see themselves as members of society and feel obligated to act according to societal rules or conventions. That's where Kohlberg got the name for this level. Stage 3. Interpersonal concordance. Someone is in this stage of moral development when they reason that what pleases or helps others is good. For example, Heinz was right to steal the drug because he was trying to save the woman he loves. Or Heinz was right to steal the drug because his wife expects him to help her and he wants to be a good husband. Stage 4. Law and order orientation. People in this stage see laws as crucial to maintaining order in their society, and all laws should be obeyed. Otherwise, it's like the Wild West, full of chaos. For example, Heinz had good intentions, but stealing the drug was wrong, and he should be punished. If everybody did what they wanted, there would be mass pandemonium. Level 3 is called the post-conventional level. This is the highest level of morality, where ethical behavior becomes self-motivated and people act according to a higher universal sense of morality. This level goes beyond the bounds of society. Stage 5. Social law contract. In this stage, people have developed a contract with society. They believe that certain universal values exist and that everyone is entitled to basic human rights. In essence, you're saying, I don't endorse breaking laws, but everyone has basic rights like the right to live, regardless of what the law says. For example, Heinz should have stolen the drug, and although he should still be punished, there are extenuating circumstances that must be considered because of the fact that he was saving his wife's life. Stage 6. Universal ethical principle orientation. In this stage, a person believes that the definition of good goes beyond that of society. There are flaws in society, and in response to those flaws, you might have to break a law in order to fulfill a higher moral principle. Kohlberg had difficulty finding participants who consistently used this stage. Example: Heinz should have stolen the drug because Heinz's wife's right to live is greater than the druggist's right to make money from the drug, and he should not be punished for this. The other view might be, Heinz should not have stolen the drug because other people might need it just as badly, and their lives are just as important as his wife's. Let's recap. Kohlberg's model is made up of 3 levels: pre-conventional, conventional, and post-conventional. A very simple way to remember the basic idea associated with each of these levels is to look at the word conventional, which we can think of as society like this flock of ducks. Pre-conventional is the same as saying before society. In other words, the person's concept of right and wrong doesn't take society into account. Think of the duck saying, "Am I going to get punished? What's in it for me?" Conventional is the same as saying society. The person's concept of right and wrong is based on societal rules. The duck might say, "Do my fellow duckmates think it's a good idea? Is it illegal?" Post-conventional is the same as saying beyond society. The person's concept of right and wrong goes beyond society and all of its rules. Instead, their concept of right and wrong is based on more universal principles. Think humanity as a whole versus just a certain portion of the population. Now we have the duck saying, "What's the right thing to do?" regardless of what all these ducks think. Each of these levels has 2 stages, with a total of 6 stages: punishment and obedience orientation, instrumental relativist interpersonal concordance, law and order, social law contract, and universal ethical principle orientation.